manager at one time. His name was Paul Cantor. He was your manager for a long time, too.
He was my first manager.
And he and I became friends. We lived down the street from each other. Ronnie, his wife, still. Wendy, not still. My wife, that is. And we would, each week we'd switch off on cooking, but you knew it. So about a year and a half, no, 2 years ago, I got a ride on my friend's plane to come to California for the holidays. So I said, yeah, why not? And I'm staying in Venice, and then I say to him, I said, wait a minute. Paul lives down here somewhere. I'm going to go down and see him. So I find, where is he? It's not far down. It's in between, what? Yeah.
Orange County.
Orange Hill?
Orange County.
Okay, Orange. So I drove down there and saw him and Ronnie, and we started talking about this and that. And I say to him, well, look, I've had this idea for quite a while, and I want to approach Dionne. Tell me what you think. And I told him the idea. And he said, yeah, man, that's a good idea. Go ahead. But he said, I'll tell you how you'll get to her. I said, how? Give her that butterfly poster. Okie dokie. I just happened to have a few. So I sent her a butterfly poster, and sure enough, bingo, she calls me. And she says to me, not only did I want the butterfly poster, but now I want the romping, stomping, hot and heavy, cool and groovy all-star jazz show, which turned into the all-star jazz show. I did this for CBS TV. And she said, we have this friend, Edgar Brofman, who gave us the money. And she says, Gary, Edgar doesn't even have a good copy. That's weird, he's got enough money. And she says, I'll tell you what is your idea? Paul kind of told me, and I told him. He says, I'll tell you what, I'll meet you in Elaine's, which is one of our favorite restaurants in New York. And we'll have either lunch or dinner, and we'll talk about this. And bring the copy. So I brought the copy, we had dinner, and we started. And that's how jazz came up to Mississippi.
Jazz came up.
In Elaine's, mind you.
Yeah, the butterfly poster opened the door for him. It did. I guess again, for a long, long time. This is one of my favorite posters that he did of me. And butterflies happen to be something that I happen to adore. And that's only because I know you all know that butterflies are free. And I am. So, what y'all want to know? Yes, ma'am.
Your mother's speaking voice is very like your singing voice. Is that, do you notice that?
Yeah, you know, the apple don't fall that far from the tree.
How did you hear her mother's speaking voice?
In the film.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Now, the old footage, she said to me, one day we were talking when we were doing these things, that she was going to do some gospel songs with the family. I said, can I film it? She said, yeah, why not? So I took my crew into this studio, and what you see with the tambourines, we filmed it. Now the next thing that happened was the Apollo Theater. So she says to me, well, you know, I'm doing the Apollo Theater for the first time. Oh, really? Can we film it? She said, yeah, ask Bobby. Bobby as in Bobby Schiffman. And I knew Bobby for a long time. So I said, Bobby, Dionne said it was cool. I forgot to add, if you said it was cool. I said, Dionne said it was cool, and for me to come and film. He said, it's okay by me, but do yourself a favor. Don't go down there in front of the audience and get in the way, because you won't have any equipment, and your life might be threatened. All right, if it's going to be that kind of audience, I can handle it. And I did. And I think, my God, it was fabulous.
Yes.
And that stuff is 40 years old?
Yeah.
50 or 40.
Well, I'm into my 50th year in this business. So, that's how long ago it is.
Okay, we have a question here.
Here, we've got the mic here.
Yeah, just wait 1 second.
Can you stand up so we can see?
Yeah, as well as.
Thank you.
Bert Bacharach and Dionne Warwick. Wow. Are you still in touch, and what's he up to?
Yes, I am in touch with Bert, and it's Bacharach David Warwick. We cannot forget Hal David.
Yeah.
If we did not mention Hal David,
He wrote the lyrics.
he'd all be humming. Yes, I'm very, very much still in touch with Bert. As a matter of fact, unfortunately, I won't be able to make this, but he's being honored in Philadelphia by the Philharmonic for his longevity of composing. He's doing okay. I believe he's in Brazil, or he's on his way back from Brazil now. So, yes.
She's a very loyal person to the people she likes, she trusts, and have been loyal to her.
True.
Question. Over here.
Hi, Dionne.
Hi.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
You've seen 50 years of pop music and an evolution. Would you, if you were a young girl today, would you go into this business?
Nope.
Right.
Really? No. This business ain't all it's cracked up to be, okay? Most people think that we jump out of bed and made up, hair done, and looking like $20 million. Ain't so. You know, just like you get up out of the bed, hair stand up over your head, run into that bathroom to brush your teeth. Yeah, that's what the reality is. And the road is not as much fun as most people might think it to be. I can give you just a synopsis of what my touring schedule happens to be. Up at 4. Airport, on a plane at 7. To the venue, probably maybe 5 or 6 hours later. Do a sound check, run to the hotel, throw water in some strategic places, back to the venue, do the concert, usually finish by 11, back to the hotel, up at 4, on a plane at 7. You think it's fun? The most fun is that hour and a half on stage, giving you the music that you've come to hear. So that's good. And if I had it to do all over again, nope. I'd be teaching.
You taught us all.
Donna, you taught us all.
Thank you, Dr.
I just ran into Mr. Keyes as you were coming back at the end of the film. And I'm a documentary filmmaker, and I was just wondering, I mean, it is the anniversary of MLK's assassination tonight. And I was just wondering how you got Terry to get you to do the opening of AmDocs, and if you would just comment at all about any association that you had with Martin Luther and Martin Luther King. He was assassinated 45 years ago tonight. And I just thought it was just so poignant how it came together in the documentary, and I wanted to know if you, Dionne.
Well, that was my time.
Yeah.
And I was reasonably political. And I was in Mexico at that race for the Mexican Olympics. So that was, I put that piece together almost at the same time that I shot the Apollo and the Gospel. And it was called Don't Make Me Over. Accept me for the things that I am. And that was something that I wanted to say. Now, not many people accepted me for the way I was. That's a different story. But I